Good evening, this is Jason with the National Weather Service here in Peachtree City, Georgia, and this is going to be our 8 p.m. update on the conditions with Hurricane Irma and what to expect locally here in the Georgia area. So wanted to start out here with our satellite imagery. Pretty impressive here this evening. We actually have 3 systems with Jose back here actually looking rather impressive itself, but as you can see in the last few frames here, Jose is starting to shift to the north, and so not really posing any threat to us. It's all going to be about Irma right here, and we're going to watch it as it moves generally west to west-northwest, staying just north of Cuba currently, and then moving south of the islands here. So watching it in general move toward the southern Florida peninsula here, and we'll look at the specific track and what to expect, and then the local area. So here's the official National Hurricane Center forecast and what we're expecting. This was the 5 p.m. update. We'll have another update coming later tonight, but for right now what we're expecting is a major hurricane to go north of Cuba. It's a Category 4 right now, but what the Hurricane Center is anticipating is a slight increase to Category 5 right before it gets to the outermost keys there. It does go back to a Category 4, but stays a major hurricane, a very powerful system as it moves somewhere along the west coast there now of Florida and the southern portions as well. So from there, still some questions, but for now the forecast takes it up the spine of the Florida Peninsula, generally on the west side. You can see how close it is to the west side of the Florida Peninsula. So, you know, if we get any movement more out here to the west, then obviously the storm's going to stay over the water a little bit longer, which would increase the strength a little bit for our local area. But for now, it looks like this is a really good forecast here as far as decreasing the intensity for our area just slightly before it makes it. So let's look at what the ramifications of this might be. So take a look at our wind forecast here. So what this is looking at is when those tropical storm force winds or gusts might reach the local area. So this is the most likely time that those would reach the area, and so kind of gives you a gauge of when to plan for. As you can see, as it comes up through the Florida Peninsula, looking at around Sunday at 8 p.m. for those winds to start up. But as we get into southern portions of Georgia there, looks like Monday morning. Now, as we get into Sunday night, you're going to start to see some low wind gusts work into extreme southern Georgia and then parts of our area into central Georgia. That would be into Sunday night, but by the time we get into Monday and Monday evening, that's when we really expect most of the winds to come into the local area. So what are those winds going to look like? Let's look at that real quick. So these are the forecast winds that we have right now, but these are gusts. These are not sustained winds. These are forecast gusts. So in general, 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts across our southern tier here, looking at that. As we get into the southern Atlanta metro, looking at gusts closer to 40 to 50 miles per hour. And then, so anything in this, say, brown to red colored here, we're looking at gusts that are going to be at or above tropical storm force. So, and that's just going for that Monday a.m. into Monday evening. Now, as we get Monday 8 p.m. to Tuesday 8 a.m., you can see the wind envelope, and this is what we see a lot of times with these tropical systems, gets a little bit larger. So we could see those 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts actually expand a little bit as we get Monday evening into Tuesday morning. So pretty much the entire area that we forecast for could be looking at tropical storm force gusts by this time period. Now, important to remember, we still have some time until these winds actually get here, and so any shift in the guidance from the Hurricane Center would mean different winds for us. So in other words, if the track were a little bit further west and not come straight up Georgia, that could impact our winds and what we expect. So keep that in mind. We'll have some updates coming for you in the next couple of days. What I also wanted to point out, anywhere along this eastern tier here, we're going to have the threat for tornadoes as well. Anywhere on the eastern side of a tropical system is where we usually look for any tornado formation. So in addition to the winds, we're also going to be watching these rain bands come up. Within those rain bands, we could see tornadoes. Again, if we get any shift to the west, then this tornado threat would also shift to the west. So we'll keep you up to date on that and what to expect coming up in the next few days. So take you one more here. This is looking at the expected rainfall for the area. Fortunately, the storm will be moving fairly rapidly as it comes through our area, but still it's going to be quite the rain producer and across the southeast portions, up close to 10 inches. Across central Georgia, maybe 4 to 6 inches is what it's looking like, 3 to 5 across portions of the metro, and then 2 to 3 across the extreme northern tier. This will be enough in general to create some isolated flooding issues for our area rivers, also the threat of some isolated flash flooding as well. So we'll be on the lookout for that. If the storm were to stall as it's moving off to the northwest, obviously these rainfall totals would go up, but for now it looks like the storm will be moving enough that will limit the rainfall totals to this. So that's it for now. Hopefully we'll have another update for you coming up here tomorrow, but stay with us and we'll let you know of any changes. Thank you.